me. I bet one woman, I remember, she used to walk past me where I used to live, and because she didn't like the way I looked, she used to go, oh, she used to go like that to me, or sort of like put the cross up. Yeah, she used to be with a young boy. She used to go like that. And she used to go, the devil, I used to go, Satan! I used to go turn back to her. Satan's going to get you, or something. She'd say, oh. I remember her son once said, don't say nothing, he said to her. A little boy said to Mum, don't say nothing. Welcome to my colourful life. Hi, I'm Keith Gordon, and I'm the coolest looking guy in Essex. Yeah, I've always liked sort of alternative imagery. I suppose mods and rockers back in the 60s when I was young, and they were the first sort of people that inspired me. I just like youth cults. I like anything sort of shocking, rock and roll, you know, heavy metal, sex, drugs, rock and roll, anything like that. Anything rebellious, it's rebellious, I think, and just to stand out. And because I'm sort of rebellious by nature and I'm not in the mainstream, it goes hand in hand with the way my personality is. It just suits me. I've got no idea how many tattoos I've got. People have asked me that because it's just one big sort of like canvas. They all just sort of stick together. They're all next to each other, and it's background as well that links them. So there's no way I can tell you how many tattoos I've got. It's impossible. People have asked me before how much do the tattoos cost. Again, I'm sorry, got no idea whatsoever. It would definitely be thousands, but how many thousands of pounds, I've never calculated it. Couldn't tell you, and I think if you ask anybody that looks like me, similar to me, the same question, you ask the same question, they'd also say they don't know. I get tattooed, you know, I'm still getting tattooed nearly every month or so. And I've got gaps that I like to fill in. When you've got as many tattoos as I've got, you only see the gaps, you don't see the tattoos. And you just want to fill them. The gaps stand out like the white gaps. So yeah, I'm just in the process of filling them in until I get to a point when I think, well, I just, you know, feel sort of complete. I feel complete in my own way. The thing is, once you go away from your arms, they're all pretty painful. But the one that I always say is the most painful is my lip. When the needle went over the lip, and it only goes over it for a very short time. It was just like having a sewing machine, putting your lip under a sewing machine. It was only for a few minutes, but that was so intense that was almost unbearable. The eyelids, yeah, it's a bit of a red herring. You think the eyelids would hurt a lot, but they didn't. It was just like a little scratch. But the next to the eyes, just round the corner of the eyes, that really did. But not the actual lids, but anywhere around the eyes, it really does hurt a lot, yeah. I wouldn't get my eyeballs tattooed, the actual whites of the eyes, because it's too, I feel like it's just an unknown territory. It hasn't been done long enough to be sure that it's not dangerous, and also I just don't feel the need for it when I'm so heavily covered anyway, that I have to have that sort of risk. Well, the family didn't like it at all, so I've got nobody in the family that likes my tattoos. I've got no support there whatsoever. I haven't got many friends to actually mention, to be honest with you, because I'm mostly just with my family, and I haven't got a lot of sort of like friends. The only support I get as regards my appearance is from other people that look like myself, usually on Facebook or groups like that, and people in the street that, you know, will say I look amazing. If one of my kids come back and had a tattoo, first of all, I'd be very angry they didn't ask me about it. Not because I was going to say they couldn't have it, but because I'd want to have some sort of input into you know, give them advice, because I am an expert on tattoos. And to be honest with you, I mean, I wouldn't sort of encourage it with my own children, because they're so young, and you know, I don't want them to be sort of like, it can sort of hinder work and stuff. And as a father, you know, I hate to admit it, but yeah, I'd be a bit worried about that, and want them to have all the best advantages they've got as regards work and relationships. And I don't think lots of tattoos is going to help him in that respect. No, it hasn't affected me getting a job at all. I mean, I had a job, a long-standing job, when I had the tattoos, and because of diversity and everything was in place in the workplace, they couldn't say a thing, which was really funny, because I know they all hated it, And nobody else in the department I worked at I was completely unique like that. You know, now I've left that job, and I do sort of like the, you know, acting, modelling or whatever, stuff like that, and I do some dog walking, and that's it. I've been in EastEnders, I've been in Jurassic Park, the latest one, only as an extra, as a small sort of piece. And I've done lots of appearances in videos, music videos and stuff. But when I was on the way to get my face tattooed, funny enough, at one of the sessions there, some guy came out of a shop and he said to me, "You look like the devil." And then he went back into a shop next door. I don't know what that was all about. So I just remembered that, and it made me laugh. I didn't find it offensive. I thought it was funny. I bet one woman, I remember, she used to walk past me where I used to live, and because she didn't like the way I looked, she used to go like that to me, or sort of like put the cross up. Yeah, she used to be with a young boy. She used to go like that. And she used to go, "The devil," or something. I used to go, "Satan." I used to go turn back to her. "Satan's going to get you," or something. She'd say, "Oh." I remember her son once said, "Don't say nothing," he said to her. A little boy said to Mum, "Don't say nothing." What I would like, I should say, is people ask me things like, who was the artist that did that? Or what studio did you go to for that one? Or what do you call that sort of style? But it isn't. They say that. The people who sort of know about tattoos, or like the non-ignorant people regarding tattoos, wouldn't say that in the first place, you know, because they know the answer to it. But that, excuse me, mate, did that hurt? I just will not answer that anymore. You know, it's just obviously it hurts. You know, what can I say? Yes, it did hurt, so that's it. Or how much did it cost? Again, that one, well, I bet that cost a lot of money, didn't it? Yeah, very boring. I love shocking people. In fact, one of the things I do like to do is to shock. I just enjoy the attention of it, and I like to put my point across. It also makes me feel validated. It makes me feel important. Yeah, well, I do have OCD. I've also got obsessional compulsive personality disorder, and I think the personality disorder, if you want to call it disorder, is what really was the main reason why I got tattoos. I think that was the main driving force behind the tattoos. I've always been obsessed with things, like throughout the years, before I even got tattoos, I've always been obsessed with things, obsessions that last, anything up to 10 years, and then I'll go on to something else. Like I was obsessed with traveling at one point. I backpacked all over the world, and it was an obsession. And even having children was an obsession. I was obsessed with having children, and I've got them. You know, so once I had my third child was when I started getting tattoos. For this time round. I don't know, I wouldn't say it was like I specifically planned that, definitely didn't. But after the third one was born, and I kind of knew that I wasn't going to be having any more. I don't know, it seemed, or it's just before she was born, in fact, I started getting tattooed. I saw another obsession I could link onto. I'm not built in, I haven't got that same sort of empathy is what I don't have. And that is part of obsessional compulsive personality disorder, lacking of empathy. I find I don't have any empathy unless it's somebody I can really relate to. Like if somebody looks exactly like me, a face tattoo and everything, like heavy metal, I've got empathy if they're ill or anything that happens to them. I'll think, oh, that's a shame. Or, you know, they have to think like me. Thank you for watching My Colourful Life. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.